Are you here to end the cycles that have been in your family for generations? Those toxic or traumatic things that keep happening just in a slightly different way, but the energy still gets passed down? Are you tired of listening to these little voices in your head that really don't make any sense about certain people or events in your life? You're really not sure where they came from? Are you ready to take a deep dive into your genealogical research? Go beyond names, dates, and places and understand what has made each person who they were, who they are, and how it all affects you. If you are, then I have two opportunities for you. One is a facilitation session, the other is a genogram session. Now, what is the difference between these two, and why would you want one of these? Well, a facilitation session is about an hour long. And in that, clients will come to me and say, you know what, I really have this issue in my family history. Can we look at this? And we will start to pull it apart. I will ask a lot of questions. We'll do some energy healing, and we'll start to see what is there behind this issue that you brought forward. Sometimes my clients will leave the session with some homework, like I want you to journal about this, or I want you to go into meditation and do this. I want you to dig a little deeper into your family history or talk to family members and find out what else is going on here and see what else you can find. Sometimes my clients, even as young as teenagers, will say, you know, I have these different spiritual gifts coming on board, so what else can I do? Or I would really like to get in touch with my ancestors in an easier way. How do I do that, or where do I start? These sessions are really great for that. Now, sometimes the session will get a little bit complex and we'll need to do some kind of family mapping so that we can see what else is going on with these different generations. Where did the root of this issue begin? Was it in this generation? Was it 3 generations ago? What happened? And in that case, I would encourage a client to book a genogram session. Genogram sessions are about an hour and a half long. And I ask for a 3 to 4 generation GEDCOM. I would send you very specific instructions on how to download this out of your program. And we get on Zoom or we get together in person and we create this genogram. And we're looking at whatever theme it is or whatever question or problem you have. We want to try and figure out, where is this coming from within the family? So some people want to look at, they're just kind of curious. Well, let's just look at what's here. Let's talk about the family and just see what's here. That's a great place to start. Then you might have another session and say, okay, I want to focus on just this part of the family, and I really want to look at these different issues. We have husbands that keep running off, or we have children that are born out of wedlock all over the place, or this part of the family just continues to migrate or move, or whatever it is they're doing, and why, what is going on here? They want to look at that. Sometimes a client will come to me and say, I am having this issue and I feel like it is connected to this ancestor or this line. Can we work with this? And yes, of course we can. And I'll give you an example of that. I did my first genogram in December of 2019. And at that time, I was married to a Dutch man. I had been living back and forth between Chicago and Amsterdam since 2016. And this Dutch man was diagnosed with 2 cancers right after we met in 2016. And yes, stayed with him. It was one of those relationships where the soul said, you have to go through this. So I did. Well, throughout the whole relationship, as things continued to get worse with his health, which affected every area of our lives, my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, would keep showing up, and she would say, I want you to have the love I never had. I want you to experience the things I could never experience. I want you to, whatever it was, I seemed to be the conduit for her to be living it or experiencing it or ending the cycle of it or whatever. So when I did my first genogram, I was specifically just kind of looking to see what was there. But then when I honed in on my grandmother and her husband, my grandfather, his Navy experience in World War II and what happened to him and what happened when he came home and what happened in the entire family, it hit me that I, with the Dutch husband, was living their lives. Like I was the one who was trying to fix it or have what they couldn't have because of the circumstances or whatever it was that was going on. As the family healer, I was the one that was going to end that cycle, or actually there were many cycles in there I had to end. But using the genogram, I got a very clear look at how I was functioning, these different beliefs I had, these different thoughts that would come into my head about my husband. And just like, I don't understand where this came from. The other thing that the genogram helped me with is I knew at some point he was going to pass away. And because we were so energetically tied together, this was a karmic relationship. I had decided a year before, well, actually it was like 6 months before, I was not going to die with him when he died. I was not going to stay energetically tied to him forever. And I was not going to repeat this relationship or the relationship my grandparents had with anybody else in this life or any other lifetime. I was done. I was ending the cycle. And I had to really look at all of these different nuances of my grandparents' relationships, the family relationship, my relationship with him, where I was functioning from. And the genogram helped me look at a lot of that. And I did the energy healing around that. And he has passed away, and I feel energetically free. So the genogram is a very powerful tool. And again, within both sessions, we will do some energy healing. You might have a little homework, like I said, journaling or meditation, or maybe some more research just to figure out what else is going on there. To learn more of the story, talk to family. So if you're interested in either one of these, please keep scrolling down the page, book a session. If you're not sure if this is for you, go ahead and reach out. Let's have a short chat and just answer your questions and see what's possible.